I refuse to be ignored. For over 15 years I have been fighting with our government because they did this to me. They made me crippled, they made me blind, they made me broke. I have people going about, oh, you need to get a job, you need to get a job. I had jobs. But unfortunately, because of my health conditions, I couldn't keep them. Because my health kept getting worse and worse and worse. And only a stupid fucking person pushes themselves into the ground and makes their health worse. And I'm not stupid. So every time my health declined, I changed jobs. Admittedly, some of the jobs I couldn't stay for very long, where I got to the stage where I couldn't even be in one job, where it turns out I'm allergic to the stuff that I was packing. But I've done all sorts of jobs in my life. And I end up being stuck on a benefit where they keep supposedly giving me my living care package, where they're supposed to look after me and take care of me and cover all my medical costs, all my medical needs, all my treatments, along with my special diet I require, and everything else that I need for the health conditions the Crown gave me. And I keep repeating this over and over again so people can understand this. I did not do this to myself. The government did this to me. The government lied about it. The government bought and used an outdated vaccine, gave me polio from it as a child, proceeded to hide my medical records under a 70-year confidentiality agreement. I'm not allowed those records until I'm 75 years of age. Meantime, if I go to get equipment, I end up having to fight with MOH to get the equipment because they go, well, we want copies of your medical records. And I'm like, excuse me, but you're the ones who are hiding my medical records, so why are you asking me for copies of the records that you are hiding? They go, and eventually will give me what I require. But it takes them anywhere between 3 and 5 years. And again, people keep going on about, oh, but it's New Zealand, they'll help you. They'll this, that, and the other. It's New Zealand, it's a toxic shithole. They lie through their teeth and cover their butts. And they do whatever they can to get out of not doing the right thing. They hand money left and right to immigrants. And one of the people goes, oh, you're being prejudiced in it. No, I'm not. New Zealand gets about $250,000 a year for every immigrant and refugee we take in. That's why they get treated better than New Zealanders do. Did you know this? I bet you fucking didn't. Same as a lot of other things a lot of people don't know. Same as they keep going, oh, the Queen can help you, the Queen can help you. No, she can't. Because I had a letter from her personally, which clearly stated that she feels sorry for me, but there's nothing she can do. She's just a figurehead. And the reason being is because in 1990, when Australia separated from the English government, we went with them because our crown was not the English government. Our crown was the Tasmanian government. Again, did you know this? If you did, good for you. If you didn't, fucking look it up. Otherwise, basically, again, stop trying to tell me what I do and don't know. Same as a lot of other things that people are trying to tell me I do and don't know. I've already been there, done that, been there, done that, been there, done that. So, again, I'm not talking through a hole in my head that's not my mouth. My mouth knows what it's saying because my eyes have been used and my brain has been used to look everything up to try and find out what's what and where's where in the first place. Now, I have tried for years on end to get media to assist me because I had hoped that with the aid of the media, I'd be able to find the other victims of the vaccine because when I got permission from the Attorney General's Office of New Zealand and Auckland Hospital's lawyers to go and look at the Archive of New Zealand to find my own medical records, what is wrong with us? If the scene's a bit shaky, it's because it's been playing silly buggers. As I said, I got permission from the Attorney General's Office and Auckland Hospital's lawyers to go and have a look for my own medical records to find out that they're under the 70-year confidentiality agreement. Well, while I was doing that digging, I found out there were at least 35 children in the same ward that I was in. That's the ones that I suspect don't know that they've been poisoned like I was. When I started asking questions about, since we were polio victims, about the disease index for Auckland Hospital, it had mysteriously disappeared. So we asked at Wellington, and they only had 3 people on the list for that year. And none of them were from Auckland, and none of them were the 35 children in the ward with me. But I had been digging and digging and digging. I started asking media, could you please help me, because I'm trying to find these people, to see if they've got the same side effects I have, if they have the same problems I have. Women's Day wrote a letter, put one of my letters in, and they printed it, and we found one of my neighbours. And the neighbour said about the vaccine and also said about the 245T poisoning, because we all got sprayed with it, which is why I've got an immune disorder. And that was the little missing gap that I had when I was talking with the American occupational therapist about my health and stuff. Because she's the one who said about it sounds like we've got post-polio syndrome. And I asked, what's that? And she goes, it's an after effect of having had polio. I said, I had polio as a child. They said, there are no after effects. She goes, they lied to you. You know, and I go, what else is new? So anyway, I asked the media to help me. When I explained where I'd been and what I'd done, which is at that time period I had already been through one Prime Minister and a Governor General, a non-Guzman, and had already talked to a series of other MPs and different things, I had the editor of the Women's Weekly turn around and call me an anarchist and hang up. And then I get pulled by Motorway Patrol. And Motorway Patrol, I explained to him I had no rego, no warrant, and because, again, when's it supposed to pay for all the costs and stuff? And he's like, yeah. The entire show treated me like, yeah. You know, and they still play that show to this day, some 15 years later. But still, no help. And then I ended up in hospital because I got badly sprayed, and I ended up with an ulceration on my leg. And when I came out of the hospital, being homeless, I got sent over to Tapuria, who again treated me like shit. And I've done videos on that. That's all on there as well. But Story showed up, and they said they were going to do a piece on me. And they did a little bit, but again, no help. Nothing from anybody. Kept going backwards and forwards to the different media. And then I dealt with Dubby Henry and Simon Collins from the New Zealand Herald. I dealt with Caroline Williams for stuff. I dealt with a bunch of others whose name I couldn't even be bothered keeping, who all said that they were going to do some form or another to try and help me, and then the editors kiboshed it. I then got to the stage where by now I've already been through 2 Prime Ministers, 2 Governor Generals, the Queen, and the Ombudsman's offices, trying to get them to help me. And all they kept doing was palming me off left, right and centre. By 2022, I finally got another house, because I managed to get one once before, and that video stuff to do with that, trying to save it, is up online, and it got posted on YouTube. So the house that I ended up in was, it turned out to be an illegal rental because it had no kitchen. And so, still checked my Housing New Zealand listing, still on the list, still top priority, still got nothing for me. So, I also had a few other problems because Wynn's promised to straighten the money out because I've got a house that were going to cover all my costs again like they're supposed to, and they did nothing. And I went to Ardern's office in the May, which the video for was up there, and asked, you know, could you please help, you know, because again, they're not keeping their word, they're not doing what they're supposed to. And she said, oh, your letter's too old, and palmed me off to the office in Wellington. So I kept ringing Wellington from May until the 22nd, I think, of October. And I'd sent paperwork through, and they kept saying somebody's going to get in touch with me, somebody's getting in touch with me. And I got to the stage where I'm like, what do I have to do? Put a bomb in your fucking office to get you off your ass to keep your word? And in the end, I did. I stuck a smoke bomb in her office. I smashed the window and put a smoke bomb in there. Because I said, what do I have to do to get you off your ass? Put a bomb in your office to get you off your ass. What did they do about it? Nothing. They fixed nothing. They sorted nothing. They continued to lie through their teeth. And then I got done for willful damage. And I got trapped into a mental hospital because I got kidnapped by police. Which again, all of this is up online. And what has anybody done between then and now? Absolutely nothing but run me in circles, tell bullshit and lie.